ABC News.
Look, before I talk about Mike Enoch, if we can just step back and say that the Anti-Defamation Commission has been monitoring anti-Semites and extremists for 40 years, and in the past, white supremacists and neo-Nazis used to hide behind white hoods and masks and meet secretly. Today, they hide behind, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube accounts, behind their smartphones and keyboard, dressed in business suits and hosting anonymous radio internet shows. So the situation that we have now is that every bigot has a megaphone and can spread their dangerous messages instantaneously and inexpensively and often anonymously, as we see with these dingo radio shows. So they're using these extraordinary large social media platforms to reach a wide audience. And I can tell you that we have seen an explosion in hatred, the likes of which has not been seen in recent times. So we are deeply, deeply concerned about the proposed visit by Mike Enoch. I should add that with regards to George Christensen, it's hard for me to know what's in his heart and his mind, but I'm very pleased that he has come out and has repudiated his appearance on that radio show. We called on him to apologize when he did and to come out very vigorously and publicly, and we're glad that he did. Now, with regards to Mike Enoch, he is the founder of The Right Stuff, which is a blatantly racist hub consisting of blogs and articles and internet radio shows. And really the aim is to popularize and promote anti-Semitism. And it features, as I said, articles and shows that peddle very dangerous and ugly theories of race. So he is a neo-Nazi, he's very influential, he has talked about killing Jews, and he's appeared on his radio show with people like Andrew Anglin, who runs the Daily Stormer, which is a really horrible, hardcore, anti-Semitic neo-Nazi website.
What do you know about this Dingoes group that's hosting this conference and that's invited him out here?
Yeah, look, we don't know much about them apart from the material that's been made public and some of the podcasts that we've heard. But I can tell you that it is part of The Right Stuff. And The Right Stuff radio network counts as part of its entertainment shows, the Dingoes, but it also contains shows such as This Week in Genocide, which is a term coined by white supremacists to allege that the white race is dying due to non-white immigration, and of course the people who are responsible for this are the Jews. And the Daily Shoah, which again is part of the Right Stuff, which the Dingoes shows belongs to, originated the use of the echo symbol around names to identify people as Jewish. And that has been deployed on social media to harass Jewish journalists and other Jewish figures. So they're part of a very dangerous, a very troubling group of racists and anti-Semites.
You're saying there's a growing number of this group. This group is getting bigger in Australia. What do you think is prompting this increase in extreme far-right groups?
Look, I can tell you that our view has always been that extremists love a vacuum and they like to insert themselves into the public conversation. And when they see a lack of forceful rejection and condemnation of their agenda, they're emboldened and they see this as an invitation to slander Jews and other minorities. We've seen, as I said, an unbelievable surge in Holocaust denial flyers, which are being distributed across the nation at all universities. We just had a report that the town of Geelong has been plastered with Holocaust denial flyers. Swastikas are appearing everywhere. So what we are seeing, in a sense, is the normalizing of hatred, which is really unacceptable. And that's why we say that all good people of good conscience need to stand up and speak out against this. And we also call on elected officials to make sure that these ideas and this incitement never find their way into the mainstream and never find a safe haven in Australia.
Do you think the rise of Pauline Hanson and One Nation has emboldened groups like the Dingoes?
I think, people often like to find a cause and effect, and, they attribute this to Donald Trump and to Brexit and to Pauline Hanson. What we say is Pauline Hanson and Donald Trump did not cause bigotry and hatred and anti-Semitism. But what has happened is that the lid has been taken off the sewer. And we're seeing all this poisonous, toxic ideology and ideas seeping into the mainstream. We have a new term which we often hear about called the alt-right. And these guys like to use the term alt-right, but Mike Enoch himself has referred to himself as part of the alt-right movement. And it's a much more acceptable way to couch what we know is white supremacy and racial hatred. So it's the same racist, anti-Semitic, violent ideology which has been part of the extremist platform for many decades. So we really need to keep our eye on the ball, and especially we call on the federal government to very carefully consider the application, which I assume Enoch will be putting in for his visa, and to carefully think about the harmful and divisive impact this will have on our multicultural community.
ABC News.